I was like, maybe you shouldn't have just pulled it out. That's attached to your intestines. You know, that's attached to your okay. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek X6 Chic, and we are here with another reaction to The Boys. We're on the final season, season 5, episode 5, which is called One Shots. I'm scared. That title does not make me feel at ease at all. Anyways, last episode, we had the crew go looking for the V1 at the old military base, and they encountered a Soup who has been trapped there for God knows how long, and his ability was to basically manipulate the emotions of people around him, and in his case, the only emotion he had was murderous rage, so the team turned on each other. We had a lot of shots fired, a lot of things said, infighting, but thankfully no one got fatally injured, and then we also had Homelander and Soldier Boy show up on site as well. And anyways, in the end, the V1 was not there. They figured out that there's another Soup who most likely has it, whose name has the word bomb in it. I can't remember the name. But yeah, so that turned out to be a wash, but everyone left for now, with, kind of some new insight on each other, I guess. Oh, and also Frenchie and Kimiko, they've kind of broken up, it looks like. On the other side of things, Annie decided to go visit her dad, and they had a, shall we say, eye-opening conversation about the reasons why he left. But in the end, I guess it was just for her to get the resolution she needed to know that she's got to stick with the team, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much what we had in the last episode. So interested to see what we're going to get in this one. So let's jump in. Just before I do, a reminder to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and also that you can catch this reaction uncut on Patreon if you're interested. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
Democratic Church of America. Okay. Come home to Homeland.
But is he a prophet or God? I think we're confused.
22 points, led by white men and women, ages 36.
I'm glad you knew the demographic.
I'm seeing massive growth myself.
In front of everyone?
Prophets.
I was about to say, I think you don't know what a prophet means.
We're just trying to ease people in.
I'm surprised that Homelander read enough of the Bible to know that.
I like Savior.
Sure.
Or Lord. Yes, I couldn't.
I mean, Lord's assigned to men, but okay.
Love all that.
So fucking dope. Easter is just around the corner.
I know Noir is so happy he's got a mask on, because right now he's going,
Jesus is both God incarnate and the Son.
Well, that's just confusing. I don't want
not him coming for the Trinity.
Yes.
Oh, you made a Homelander Bible? Excellent.
The book.
You know, most kids under the age of 20 right now don't even read paper text anymore. You think they're going to pick that up? You're going to have to make a TikTok version. Exactly, Soldier Boy. WTF.
Gonna rush something this important. We ain't Arby's, after all.
Arby's catching strays.
just recall all Soups stationed overseas. American heroes should be protecting America, not who gives a fuckistan.
Great idea. Do we need a firecracker backstory?
I was surprised you called, Reverend.
Oh, Reverend.
Bug you with all of this, but
He's about to ask you if you're the Antichrist.
melted our stained glass window of Mary.
Melted it?
Mm-hmm. I called the sheriff. I called the mayor. I've called half of Florida.
Oh, you're in
All
Florida.
I got left.
That explains a lot.
You got to be able to do something.
Girl, another sugar and you're going to get diabetes on the spot.
Homelander's not too keen on being challenged.
As in, we'll die.
God does not favor one nation over another.
Doesn't he, though?
Clock
No.
it.
Name one way God's ever blessed Canada.
Oh, I could give you a long list.
Just because Homelander tells you that the sky is red does not make it so.
Tell her. Also, she has audacity saying that when they're filming this in Toronto.
You carried it with you everywhere you went. You almost wore the face off the thing. You still carry him?
Around Homelander, that'd be a death wish.
He can stop bullets. He can fly, do amazing things.
But he chooses to murder and terrorize.
And he is not God.
Not the facts being spoken. Not her actually having a crisis of faith.
Were you baptized?
I mean, his era, probably.
Yeah, in front of half a Chestnut Hill.
It's kind of a necessity in most major American cities back in the day.
You think Homelander might be open to going easy on him? Just one more time.
Girl, you know the answer to that already.
That man practically raised me.
Which again, why would Homelander care? He doesn't
So
even
you
care.
didn't nut.
See, exactly. See? Girl, who are you talking to?
If he's a second coming, then what does that make me?
Joseph?
Valid point.
Place Homelander in my heart in relation to Jesus and the Lord.
Girl, you do know you're taking this seriously?
If there is a God, sure as hell didn't come out of my balls.
Oh, tiny moment of humility.
Homelander?
I mean, I'll give you a -2 if you actually have the balls to ask him about this.
Look at us. Regular Peter and John, just bearing witness and spreading the gospel. A real blessing.
The fakeness.
The printers were happy to rush it to make Easter.
Look at you. Everybody's scraping to get in that golden spot, huh?
If you are ever feeling any doubts, come to me. I could be a warm shoulder and a friendly ear.
Really? Is that all?
I'll do that.
These fake smiles frozen in place.
Maybe I could help.
That is so kind of you.
Respectfully, Reverend, she will always outrank you to Homelander, and you know why. That's the wrong butt to try to crawl up.
The man upstairs wants you, to run with it top of show. He thinks with it being your home church and all, it'll make a strong statement.
Look at her having her Ashley moment. Girl, you should know you want to be at the top. It means selling your soul in this business. Gonna have to compartmentalize that conscience if you have one and pack it deep down.
And my old pastor, Reverend Greg Dupree, has been infected.
You just
by
signed that man's
Starlight's
death warrant.
seditious propaganda.
But hey, once again, you want to snuggle up with the ultimate king murderer. This is what you're gonna have to get used to.
When I was a little girl, the Reverend.
Oh,
Greg
so they're gonna
Dupree
twist
had me
it.
over for supper. Alone.
Oh, girl. Well,
If that ain't code for child grooming, I don't know what is.
gotta love that whole good, no good deed, right? Maybe he should have just let you starve back in the day, huh?
They deserve
They deserve a man that will steal
Democratic
the
Church
the
of
milk right from the
America.
mother's breasts and laser the babies in the face. Anyway, the tear is a little bit late, a little bit useless.
Would you like some knee pads?
I'm sorry?
You're looking at me like you want to suck my heart.
What is it with you and your homoerotic fantasies? Like,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
listen, Noir, new Noir. It's best that you kind of try your best to backslide away from this man as soon as you can. I guess we're finding out where he's going all the afternoons.
I don't know. It feels inauthentic for Barry to move like this.
Oh, yeah?
You're still alive?
But my God, if you were not a fucking talent.
Wow, thank you.
No. Thank you.
I never know if this guy's being serious. But the fact that he's now doing theater from where he was in season 1 is kind of crazy. Not that theater's a step down, it's just less money, typically.
All right, let me guess. The egomaniac we're talking about, that's someone in your life?
Someone I work with.
Say the least.
Day job.
All right, what do you do? So quit.
Mm.
In addition to my theater work, I also happen to be a massive feature director.
Are you still?
So I was working on this little film. I don't know, you may have heard of it, called Dawn of the
Oh my God, you're still riding that horse, huh?
The Deep.
I heard he's a real baby.
He
He's
is.
a Jared Leto level baby bitch. But you gotta put
Facts.
so whoever's upstaging you, you fucking upstage them right back. Okay?
He ain't wrong.
Need to meet young men where they are if we plan to usher them into the fold of our Lord.
Does anything about the Deep give religious? Like in any capacity.
What if they were Nilla wafers instead? Huh?
Yeah, because it's about the flavor.
Point is, me and Homelander, we go way back. I know what he likes, doesn't like. So.
No, really?
Don't listen to him, bro.
Oh, shit.
He pretends he's the guy, but he's not the guy. He's a joke.
Does
And
this guy
Snyder's right.
know? Like, I don't think everyone's supposed to know that the real Noir's.
Homelander can heal me. I'll get my voice back, and then I'll fly. You know I can fly, right?
That's so fucking stupid.
Jealous? I think you'll like it.
Honest to God, faith healing. That's like a 9-point.
He did say he wanted miracles. Yeah, there's one thing about this little hoe. He is a devious little you know what.
I did what you said, and I upstaged that fuckhead at work.
You probably should have told him it was the Deep. He would have told you the Deep is very devious.
You know, Vault Studios hung me out to dry after they shelved Training A-Train. Oh, yeah.
That wasn't the reason, but okay.
Nitrous, huffing glue, huffing paint, paint thinners, cough medicine, guns, high-risk sex.
Oh, wow.
We're going to Broadway. Yes, no more mindless studio bullshit. I can finally be the artist I always dreamed of in you.
I mean, listen, good for him.
So you ditched that office gig because
You
you and I,
can't
we were
ditch
going to
the
save
office
the world.
gig. I don't think you can just quit the 7.
Oh my
Even though you're
God,
not
you have
really
no
the
idea
7,
How
but
much
anyway.
this means to me.
Guess who's about to mess it up for you?
Adam?
I was like, maybe you shouldn't have just pulled it out. That's attached to your intestines. You know that's attached to your okay. This scene.
My ass hurts so fucking
That is a very realistic last set of words to say. This is for the best, friend. The lifestyle you just said you were leading, I don't think it was going to go anywhere good, but wow.
The lead producer's stepping away. They're shuttering the production.
Get it coming.
It's all right. The Deep will get what's coming to him.
Fucking do whatever I say, whenever I say it. I'm gonna tell Homelander you were in some pussy play.
I honestly don't think Homelander would care at this rate, really and truly.
We're getting the hang of that Meisner technique, huh?
You could kill the Deep, sir. Homelander really and truly wouldn't care. He'd be pissed for like 5 minutes, but then he would absolutely not care.
You wanna fuck me?
What is happening? Why are we in the dogs? You know what? What? Really? The boys' writers this season were definitely on some drugs.
Has Butcher ever watched this thing? Oh,
Why would you touch it?
Like glazed and dog semen.
Right? Why would you touch it?
How about Legend? That old bastard knows everyone.
He's in the wind. If I had as much shit on Vought as he did, I'd fuck off too.
Probably the best idea right now.
Bloody hell. I never thought I'd see the day.
I know, right?
Cubic here on it and all.
Tasty too.
His OCD is completely broken, along with his sanity, clearly.
And I've never slept or shit so good my entire life. What's
Yeah, because you've let go, finally.
And once I just gave up that stress of needing to stay alive, it's like
Now you're actually living.
shit got easier.
Yeah, you're in the present.
He's immortal. He's immune. Kind of fucking cosmic joke is
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish this was a world where everyone who deserved their just desserts got it, but
And I'm better off without them. Because if I thought that there was a snowball's chance in hell that I might see him again, then I might be too scared to do what you and me both need me to do.
it's his coping mechanism, unhealthy as it is. But if this is what he needs to do right now, then maybe let's not eat things off a lab floor or drink out of a toilet. But I understand him kind of being in the mindset of he just can't focus on anything but the task of what's in front of him right now. Otherwise, he'll break down.
The perfect French ribeye.
She hates it.
You know, she loves my steak.
She doesn't.
My soufflé en chocolat.
Keep this. Why is there so much chocolate in a place with a dog?
You know she wants one of you to... I don't know. What is it that you do?
You mean besides exist and be adorable?
What would I do with one of you?
Your life would be a lot happier. Okay, well, they're a little hardier than plants. Wow.
I don't know how to give her this. If I even can.
The dog's like, actually, I'm just looking for a snack and my Homelander toy. I don't know what those words are you're saying.
And then still think... Oh, for fuck's sake, Huey. You knock it off.
Are we going to lose the puppy?
You're doing me fucking head in.
Can someone check? The dog is eating chocolate.
Once he becomes immortal, he's gonna start killing like one, and we are talking millions of people.
That part. Billy's 100% right.
To risk all of that for a life on the run with your girl, knowing that you could have stopped it.
His case is pretty solid.
All I'm asking is that we try. Annie and Kimiko deserve that much.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, get out of there. Oh, bloody hell. Is that chocolate?
Yep.
What happened?
You poisoned my fucking dog.
No, no.
Didn't I just say?
They're gonna tell you need charcoal.
But he's like, I'm telling you.
Right? On the count of
Yeah, I
three.
think if you took him to a vet, they would just, oh, really? Peroxide? Oh, I don't want to see a doggy puke. I don't like puke no matter where it's coming from.
Right, you're gonna be all right, boy.
But Frenchie, seriously, why are you putting a crap load of chocolate in a place that's accessible to a dog? But I guess he doesn't have a dog. They just talked about how he has no idea what to do with them. He's not lying. He actually would take one out.
There he is, eh? Boy, hey, were you having a dream, were you?
We need to talk about his dreams. Is there a doggy psychiatrist? Because he needs one. Yep. Reminds you of your little brother, huh?
And if it don't fuck us, you can have some.
The dog's like, are you lying?
What about you?
Butcher has made peace with dying a long time ago. The way he can bend for Huey, but he's so stubborn with Ryan.
Oh, know how you love the crunchy bits. Yes, I do. I know how you love those crunchy bits. Yeah.
Finally! We're like a season and a half overdue for what's going on in her head. Jesus.
Where to?
Crime analytics.
The racism begin.
What a bright future we have ahead of us.
Her thinly veiled
Gianni
sarcasm.
piss party.
Huh?
Homelander hasn't gotten anything out of Stan Edgar.
No. But I haven't had a crack at him yet.
Leave Uncle Stan alone. Hates him. I agree.
We need our American soups here in America. Well, isn't it kind of sorta your fault for being invaded? You might as well have been wearing a short skirt. Man, those Ukrainians.
Call them out on the backwardness of that whole statement.
It's not about what I think.
All right, does she ever care?
It's what the man wants. It's always what the man wants.
Isn't that the story of our world today?
What makes you think I want anything from you?
You haven't called me the poster child for late-term abortion once today.
Damn!
You know what Homelander's doing.
He's going after the V1. Wait, what?
And
Oh, she talks to Bashley?
How do you know about this and I don't? Have you two been talking without me?
Clearly.
But Soldier Boy is tricky. I need you to read his mind. What he knows, where they're headed next, and most importantly, if Soldier Boy is warming up to his sadistic rugrat.
Okay, I'm in.
Ashley only has one eye?
What do you think happens to you if I die?
Spitting.
My neck because I let an overgrown boil do my thinking for me.
That was great.
Don't make me drink alone.
I know it seems like Sage is disengaged, but I kind of get where she's coming from. Like, at this point,
Yeah, well, Mom's dead, so she doesn't get a say.
Damn.
And neither do you.
What happened to her?
Cancer.
oh, well, common ground.
Their life dream yogurt shop is doomed to fail. They start to hate you too.
That part.
At least my parents did. So
Oh,
they dumped me at my grandma's.
but your grandma was lovely. She was lovely.
I would quote Othello to her, word for word, and she'd clap and laugh her big laugh.
Emotions, something Sage does not show much.
Pushy as fuck. Didn't take shit from anyone.
You still can. If you help me.
A plan?
You knew about my mom the whole time. You drew it out of me just to soften me up.
Did it work?
No. I know you've been working some big plan all year.
What is it?
If I tell you, will you help me?
Probably not.
Helping Homelander take control of the country is phase 1. It was only ever the beginning. Phase 2 is the end.
The end of what?
The world.
Yeah, she wants to burn it down.
Soups butchering humans. Virus butchering soups. Fucking World War Soup.
I don't believe you.
Really?
Why would you possibly?
'Cause she hates the world. Have you not figured that out yet?
I can read all day, every day. No one bothering.
You sure there'll be books left?
Which is why Homelander can't survive.
Definitely.
That needy asshole would never give me a moment's rest.
Is Ashley still here?
You're invited to my bunker.
I believe that.
You too, Ashley.
Oh, damn! She was talking about Ashley. Not her being second to her, what do you call that? Evil twin? Oh, I didn't really want to see this either, but all right.
Says he has no idea where the V1 is. Heart rate steady as a rock.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
You could have killed me at Fort Harmon.
That's literally the way your family works, no?
Maybe I feel like I owe you. Or maybe you're lying. Maybe.
How's the heartbeat?
My.
Really?
How the mighty have fucked themselves square in the ass.
Everyone's got to wear these outfits?
We had your replacement model on the way. Even as a toddler, Homelander showed more promise than you ever did.
Oh, look at him poking at the
Not that-
volatile, damn,
When-
egos of both of them.
Or is it because you are so desperate for daddy figures that you can't even bring yourself to kill the ones who hate you. At least that's something he and I have in common.
Jesus. You can get pregnant with all the eye fucking.
That part.
Well, I had the eggheads in crime analytics track down your granddaughter,
Yep.
Zoe, and her dad.
That will crack him. I did say that before, right?
You should go and see Mr. Marathon in LA. He's always had an intense interest in Vaught's history. It should be a delightful reunion.
That smile. Didn't I say it? Like, I'm like, Zoe's is one weakness. Otherwise, Edgar does want to die. He'd rather just die and not have to give him anything if that's what it comes down to.
Good to see you. Why? But what brings you by?
Relax.
Ew. So this is just like the dumping ground for Supernatural.
These were made where washed up soups go to die. Sony Pictures TV.
It's a legit.
That was very personal, Barb. I don't know who's beefing with at Amazon with Sony. Jeez.
That and I sling a little bit on the side. Low pills, Ozempic, whatever you need. Fastest dealer in town. All right, come on. The gang will be psyched to meet you.
Is that also what A-Train did better than you? Till he ran through a person?
Did you guys hear they rounded up Aziz?
Kumail?
We need to do something. Counterpoint. Why? Because we're storytellers.
McLovin?
Hey, do we think Michael Cera's a star later? Because we're up for the same part right now.
Aw, where is Michael Cera these days?
Seth Rogen. We actually met once before with Black Noir at the premiere for Silent Vengeance 3, Vengeance Reloaded.
I swear Anthony's trying not to laugh.
Some old bitch on eBay. I paid $20. I mean, it'd go for $500,000 at auction, easy.
I knew it was something to do with it. I just knew it.
He was a complicated guy.
He was actually in love with that. Ugh.
Do you or do you not have V1?
Right? This is what we should have started with.
But Bombsight does. He does.
That piece of shit's still alive.
Yeah. He was my best customer for a long time.
What makes you think he... No, I actually hate weed. I just pretend to like it for my brand so I can sell ashtrays to suckers.
Anyway.
You want to hit this? It is my.
I will actually
life
give that to
goals, yeah,
Homelander.
buddy.
He doesn't really have vices outside of breast milk.
That fucking cape.
Like a baby with a blanket. Pretty sure he jerks off into it. Probably why it's so stiff.
You know he can hear you.
Say that again.
Right? Like super hearing, or are you that high?
Say it again.
Yeah, say it again. I would actually enjoy seeing you lasered in the face.
And I want you all to know that very soon, gentlemen, you are going to pay for your sick posts and your hateful memes. Especially the memes.
Dude, you and these memes.
It was Kumail and Seth's idea.
What?
I was against
you,
it.
Forte. He was
Under the bus.
We really should round up Michael Cera.
Homelander.
Touching.
I mean, they're rounding up everybody cool. All the hookers, the drug dealers.
They want to ban porn.
Unfortunately, he's actually low-key, high-key on board with it.
We know you've got that fucked up chest blast thing. I mean, I was at Hero Gas and I saw it.
Just finish him. Now, take away his powers so we can curb stomp him while we have
Sage was right. He's developing an emotional attachment.
He's my fucking asexual weirdo.
Huh?
Nobody fucks my son but me.
What?
That came out wrong.
I don't think it did, though. That's kind of the first thing you always say. You always talk about it. So. Not sad about that. Not the peanut gallery. Back in the bathroom.
Go, go. What'd you do to me, man?
He would want half of himself.
Well,
It's a scratch. Tis a flesh wound. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. And you look like the kind of guy who'd party with him with that stuff afterwards, too.
Does Bombside really have it?
I'm gonna rip your balls off and stuff them down your throat.
That'd be like...
Are you really in the position to say that?
Oh, God!
Yes, okay, yes, that part was true. I swear to fucking God, man.
But deserved.
I swear to God, please.
He's gonna kill you. Oh, well, or him.
Why? Because fuck them. That's why.
Yeah, they both have to die.
I don't think this micro prick was lying.
We very much.
Has to be one. You just gotta
We got it. They both gotta die. I mean, always, but definitely.
I've been fucking Firecracker.
I think he knew.
How's sex with my father? Is he good at it?
Do you want to play-by-play?
Never meant to cross a line.
You did.
Offend you.
No. Don't fret, little one. I don't care about the sex. Really.
Well, he doesn't actually, but.
Are you thinking of Jesus when you're praising me?
No, you are my
Sweet Lord. Oh. Okay.
Jagged little heart is whirring like a hummingbird.
Shag. The strays her heart has taken.
Turns out you don't believe in me.
As God. Like no one
I need
does.
you to collect your things.
Oh, at least he's only firing you.
Everybody else here, they're just scared of you. Or they want something from you.
I will give her that. He's always said that she's never been scared of him.
Just the strongest, smartest, best man on earth.
Man.
No. Oh, God, no. The
No, I can't stroke this much ego.
blessed to nourish someone as important as you.
She does have the gift for the words.
Hell, the only reason I was with Soldier Boy was because your reflected light.
Someone give her a pen and a pencil. She could be writing all this stuff in Hollywood. All this BS she's coming up with right now.
We all need love, don't
He doesn't. Yeah, knew it was coming. He doesn't like any reminders of his humanity. That's on you, girl. He gave you the option to pack your ish and leave. You have enough money, you could have lived comfortably. That's it. They said that's the end of it. Bye-bye, Firecracker. Can't say I'm gonna miss her. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 5. And yeah, kind of an interesting mix of things going on there. I guess we'll just take it in the sections that we dealt with. It was very interesting that half of the episode was kind of just, kind of a state of what's going on. And then the other half, we had different POVs. Yeah, like I said, just an interesting choice. We basically saw what was going on with Vought, that of course the whole thing, they're still going full steam ahead with this whole idea of, Homelander taking the place of any form of deity in the United States and the plan. And of course, everyone in the room who with sanity are all like, this is crazy, but we got to pretend that it's actually a good thing. And then we see that more specifically, like this was kind of Firecracker's episode in a way because it was her swan song. But yeah, we see that despite everything we've seen of her, and let's face it, she's been very, very repulsive since, season 3 is when she was introduced, I think. But, behind all of that, there is a girl who clearly had a dubious upbringing. And was it? Yeah, I think it was back in the day we heard that even Starlight acknowledged that she used to bully her and look down on her because of her upbringing in the past. But all that to say, it turns out she really is a believer in God. She actually is a truly religious person. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was a certain church, and more particularly a certain pastor who took the time to really look out for her. And as she said, the Fish Fry Fridays were really just a way that this man created to make sure that she would have at least one good meal a day, which means that unfortunately she was in such a situation where eating every day or having more than one meal a day was very unlikely. So the point is, she is a real believer. She does believe that there is a higher power and that it's God, and she knows it's not this soup who's entirely insane. And it's bothering her, right? Outside of just, all the things that are happening as a result, like it really is on a fundamental level bothering her, because her belief is definitely a core belief for her. And I do believe that while obviously a lot of what she's done since she's introduced to the show has been to grab power and access and some level of notoriety after the way she was raised, or the way she grew up, I should say. But I do also think that she believed somewhere in her heart that what she was doing was still somewhat in alignment with her belief system as far as being a Christian. And that's one thing that when it comes to people who get involved in rather extreme things in this world and potentially rally behind someone who's doing some pretty crazy stuff, there are some people who tell themselves that, well, it's because this person, if they claim to be religious or they claim to be having the same belief systems as me, then what I'm doing, even though there's a lot of things that are wrong and very clearly against what I know to be the religious foundations, but still, if they say that they're about God, then it's okay, right? And I do think that Firecracker was doing that to an extent and convincing herself that despite all of the terrible things that were happening and the things that were coming out of her mouth, there was a part of her, I think, that believed that it was still very loosely and, still on the path of being a Christian and having a belief in God. But this, what Homelander is doing, for those who are of the Christian background, that it's straight up blasphemy, right? What he is doing, what he is saying, if you are a believer, like I said, in the Bible and any form of Christianity, there's nothing that Homelander is doing right now that does not fall squarely into blasphemy, which is pretty much the biggest crime you can commit in Christianity. So it's bothering her, right? It's one thing to say that Homelander is doing things with the blessing of God. It's another thing to say he is God. And so it is bothering her. It has been bothering her. And it came to a culmination point when this pastor that, was very instrumental in her having some level of safety, normality, health in her life when she was growing up, came to her and basically was like, hey, can you help me out? I did help you back in the day, not because I was looking for it in return, but, we do need help. This whole thing that's happening, we're losing people are moving, not because they necessarily believe in this church, but because you guys are using the tactic of fear. People are scared. They don't want to end up on the wrong side of Homelander or any of his goons that he's putting out there. So he's like, can you help us out? Not everyone, there are a few people that are trying to stay brave, but without money and without some level of protection, it's not going to be for long. And, she, of course, tried to backslide out of it. No one really wants to admit out loud that they're terrified of Homelander. But, he basically says to her, your own belief system, though. I know you. He's like, you came to those sermons. You paid attention. You have a little Jesus figurine you carry around with it to the point where it's worn down. He's like, I know you have a belief system and you know what this man's doing is wrong. So, can you stand up for that? That's the whole point of having a belief, is that you should be willing to stand up for it. And in some extreme cases, even die for it. And, she felt some type of way about it, but I think we don't know enough about her to really know all of her inner thinking. But as I said, based on what we saw when she first was introduced and what we learned about her through Starlight, and then seeing the way she is now, I think that there's a deep-seated fear in her, outside of course dying at Homelander's hands. I think there was a deep-seated fear in her of going back to what she was in her worst times, right? She just want to go back to being the nothing that no one respects or cares about, and having no security financially, economically, or otherwise, right? So all those things kind of kept her from being able to be honest with herself. And as a result, she ended up doing that horrible lie about the church that she grew up with and targeting the very man that had done nothing but show her kindness. And, clearly she had conscience about it, but like I said, not enough. That's why her tear didn't affect me. Cause I'm like, girl, if you had enough conscience, you would have been like, I'm not doing it. We'll find a way to pitch around it. You have enough power at Vought that you could have found a way to circumvent that. I mean, you clearly have a way with words. You have a way of manipulating situations to your advantage. You could have done it. But, I think in her, again, her mind, she just figured this is the way it's going. And she definitely made her choice at that point, that she was going to stick it out with Homelander, no matter how much it went against any deeper core beliefs that she had, which I could say that had she lived longer, it would not have ended well for her anyways, right? No, none of us do well when we go against a core belief system of our own. But anyway, we see that after that, she did make the decision. You see her throwing away, the Jesus. Well, first of all, the conversation with Soulja Boy, I think, was interesting in that, Soulja Boy's character is a little bit interesting in the sense of, obviously he's a misogynistic, racist, homophobic dude bro, but he's not a complete idiot. He does listen more than people think, and he does perceive things. He just kind of chooses when to disseminate how much he understands. And that's not a dumb thing. That's actually something very smart to do when you're navigating dangerous spaces like Vought. And we see in the pillow talk he had with Firecracker, she was basically trying to find if she was just testing the waters to see if anybody else was feeling as uncomfortable as she was over what Homelander is doing. But like I said, to tell Soulja Boy, outside of the fact that, whatever this weird bond between him and Homelander is that's developing, he's not a religious guy, right? The fact that she asked him if he was baptized, I'm like, yeah, back when he would have been young, which, I mean, what they say, he would have been born in the 40s, somewhere in there, 30s, 40s. The church was a huge part of most communities, right? So a lot of people, if nothing else, they would get their kids baptized for the sake of not being kicked out of the social structure. But then after that, outside of maybe going to Christmas Mass or Easter for mass, they were never seen inside a church. So again, point being, he was not raised religious. It's very clear in the way that he talks and acts and treats people. There was no religious influence in his life, right? So anyways, I see what she was doing though. She just basically was looking to see if anybody else felt some level of discomfort with what Homelander was saying and doing. And, obviously he was not the one to talk to about it, but, it let him know that, it let Soldier Boy know that Firecracker was not as down for the cause as she puts out, right? That fake smile she always has on, which has definitely been more fake ever since she stopped breastfeeding Homelander. But yeah, that kind of let him know that, I think that if the whole thing with, Soldier Boy feeling more connected to Homelander hadn't happened, he probably would have kept it under his cap though, because, we do know that at the moment, it seems like his goal is to take over the Seven, and he would know who he wants to have in his circle at that point. And sadly, at that moment, well, not sadly, because I honestly don't care about Firecracker like that, but anyway, for her, sadly for her talking to him and letting her know that she was not 100% on board, despite what she showed to Homelander, it let Soldier Boy know she was not someone to be trusted. So yeah, even if he hadn't gotten closer to Homelander, he would have kept that under his cap until the time came, and then he would have probably gotten rid of her just the same. So yeah, Firecracker is pretty much doomed from that point. And it's just really sad that we see in that final scene when she throws away the figurine to go and talk to Homelander, and basically he's like, yeah, I heard that you're telling my dad that, you don't really believe in me. It's all been a front. And, she says all the things she says. And I do think she was telling half of the truth in there. As I said, she is someone, Homelander's always listening to heartbeats. She's never been nervous around Homelander. Like, she genuinely does love him in her own twisted little way. There was a reverence for him, but the only thing she lied about was being okay with seeing him as God. Like, she just isn't, that's fundamentally against her belief system. So all that to say, it was kind of sad that she kind of pleaded her heart out. And I think the part that made that sad was that she did trade in her belief, right? By throwing away that Jesus figurine that meant so much to her on multiple levels, she did choose. In that moment, she was choosing to follow Homelander straight to hell, quite literally. And, it just turned out to be for nothing. In the end, it turned out to be for nothing. And, it's sad because that belief and that love she has for Homelander is what blinded her to being able to see that Homelander is a sick man. Like, he's completely snapped. The second he came and told you that an angel came to him and told him he was the divine, you should have known that his rational thought, what little there was gone. So it's sad that she believed that he was not going to do something. And again, maybe he would have actually let her leave, but, she threw her whole hat in at that point, right? She was like, I've just basically forsaken God for you. So surely you can't be tossing me away. And, she talked to him. She said the things that moved Homelander's heart. And we all know that he doesn't like that. He doesn't like anything that makes him feel vulnerable. So yeah, he ended her. I mean, she should be grateful that at least he made it quick. Quick and relatively painless, I guess, but that's how it goes. So no more Firecracker. Again, I was never married to the character, but the actress did a fantastic job of making her someone that was, she was definitely someone who could get under your skin very, very well. So yeah, we had that storyline with that whole thing there. We finally got some insight into Sage and where her mind is at. I mean, I pretty much knew. It hasn't really changed from what we saw when she was first introduced to the show, but it is good to hear of kind of why she seems so passive right now, right? Because a lot of people keep saying, what's going on with Sage? Why is she just sitting back? Like, it seemed like in the last season, she had a real plan. Why does it look like she's not doing anything? And there's two reasons, I think, and I talked about this last episode as well. Like, one is that, the show has definitely changed directions. Like, the boys, the people who produced this show, they're already starting to spin up the next spinoff. Like, don't get me started on Gen V being canceled. But anyway, they're gearing up for another spinoff, and they definitely have shifted, I think, this season to be much more of a launch for that show. That's why we're seeing so much of Soldier Boy, and, we don't need to. Like, the fact that he should still be in a freezer, quite frankly. But anyway, I think that was one of the reasons. But the other thing is that people seem to forget that back when Sage pitched herself as a helper to Homelander, she said, I will help you I will help you get all the power you want. I will help you get to a point where you have control over everything here, right? And he asked her why, and she said, don't worry about it. I have my own reasons, but you go ahead and do that. And then before that, she was saying, was it to Deep? I'm trying to remember who she gave the speech to, but she already talked about, like, in her whole backstory about how her grandmother died and how she'd found the cure and she tried to get someone to do it and to back it, and they refused and they shut her down, and they did everything in their power to block her until her grandmother finally died. And that's when she basically said, any sense of empathy, sympathy, or love for the world died with my grandmother. As far as I'm concerned, this world can burn, right? And remember, she gave all those examples of all this greed and how humanity just never lives up to what it's supposed to. So she's like, why should I use my brain to do anything for these people? Why would I do that, right? So if you remember all of that, then her behavior this season makes sense. She's not going to interfere because, like she said, Homelander becoming powerful was the whole plan. She wanted Homelander to become the person in control of all things in America, which is supposed to be the leader of the free world, right? So that was all part of the plan. Why would she interfere? As long as Homelander generally stayed on the path of doing what he needed to do to become the most powerful person, it was all in alignment for her, right? Like she's like, yeah, she kept, raising an eyebrow to her. I think there's definitely been some quirks she couldn't have anticipated that he would do, but by and large, he's following the script. So yeah, she's sitting back right now because she doesn't have to do much. As she said to Ashley, he gets what he wants, right? He does what he wants. Isn't it always about him getting what he wants? That line was very much a multi-layered line. It was definitely applicable to many things, but yeah, isn't it really all in the end about him getting what he wants, even if it means the world burns, right? So yeah, but in this episode, I'm glad for a lot of people who keep asking. They spelt it out very clearly. Sage is like, I want him to get control because he's an idiot who's easy to control. I know. She's like, he's a puppet. That's so easy. Homelander she's like, what does she call him? Like, he's a simple book. But like she said, Soldier Boy, though, she's like, I can't really read him as easy as others. But he's more guarded. Kind of to my point earlier. He gives off the dude bro energy, but he doesn't really let people know how much he does perceive, and he does perceive a lot. So that's why she said, we saw her trying to enlist Ashley. She's like, I just need you to check because I don't know enough about him, and he doesn't, let himself, he doesn't give enough of himself away. And he's definitely not going to do that with Sage because we know, like, he's racist. He's not going to be open or vulnerable around her. So also, I do think that unlike Homelander, I do think that Soldier Boy is much more acutely aware of how smart Sage is, and that she probably will pick up more than he intends to share if he's not careful. But anyway, because that's the one thing he does have over Sage. Like, Sage has got that big brain, but she's only got so much life experience. There are just some things you can only experience by living a long time. And remember, Soldier Boy's over 100 years old. So there's just some things he's probably picked up just from human nature that even Sage can't anticipate. But coming back, that's why she wants Ashley now. She's like, Ashley, you can read his mind. Like, do your best when you're around him to see if you can pick up anything that I can't possibly get from him because he's giving me nothing. He gives me the bare. We saw it. That whole elevator conversation illustrated that outside of his, thinly veiled jokes and, the looks of derision, he basically gives her one-word answers for things. So she doesn't know where he's at, and it's the emotions that she can't predict, right? As far as the logical behaviors, I'm sure she could probably predict what Soldier Boy would do, but it's the emotional side, which she learned from Godolkin, that she really can't anticipate and plan for, and that's what can throw the tiniest wrinkle into what should be a smooth path to what she's trying to do. So that's what she's hoping. Ashley has now been put in a position where obviously Bashley and her both agree that Sage's ultimate plan is not the right one. I do think it's a good idea for her to find out what Soldier Boy's up to, but will she actually be honest is the question now, because now that she knows the full plan, which, like I said, was articulated like we're 5, Sage is like, I want the world to burn. She said this also when she was talking to Homelander, right? She's like, I don't care about this world. The world could burn for all I care. She don't care. That's what she wants. Like she said, once the Supes figure out about the virus will be killing the Supes will be killing the humans. She's like, I'm gonna be sitting peaceful in my bunker with my glass of wine and my book, just watching it all burn, and basically whoever's left is left, but at least they'll be quiet and I don't have to worry about nobody doing stupid stuff anymore. And honestly, there are days I get where Sage is coming from. There are days I get it, but obviously not okay. Far more diabolical, I would say, even than what Homelander's doing. But anyway, so now, yeah, as I said, that put Ashley in a very interesting and precarious position. We'll see what she does with that. Hilarious, though, that Bashley is able to have whole conversations without Ashley. Like, how does that even happen? But anyway, so yeah, we got that from Sage, which was good, because like I said, it's sad that we've dropped so much of, like, I feel like she should have been a much bigger part of this season than what we're seeing, but, it is what it is. But yeah, we kind of got those stories. We got some stuff on Noir. I mean, now we know where he's been going in the afternoons. I was kind of hoping there would be something deeper, but I guess not. It's just about him trying to, again, we've heard him say last season he hates having to be quiet all the time, but we now know that he was trying to do other things to kind of fulfill himself when he's not sitting there pretending to be a robot for Homelander. And yeah, we just saw more examples of how the Deep is a bitch. Like, I really don't know what the whole point of that was, honestly. I mean, outside of telling us what the Deep was up to, I guess. I still feel like the Deep might end, not the Deep, sorry, that Noir may end up being an unwilling or a last minute ally in all of this because, you know, he's just doing it for the check for the most part. I mean, his hands are bloody now. So again, he does have things to lose, but you get my point. I do think that if it's for no other reason than to get back at the deep, he may end up being somebody who is much more useful than not in the end. But yeah, what else did we get? Yeah, I think, the Soldier Boy stuff, again, not really that important to me. I think they're just reiterating, like, again, setting up for the spinoff. Soldier Boy clearly had deep feelings for Stormfront. I really couldn't care less about that connection, so whatever. And then, of course, the whole situation, like, again, the whole trip to LA was just, again, I don't know what producer of Supernatural is sleeping with somebody over at Amazon Studios to get like damn near the whole cast there. I never watched the show, but anyway, you know, they had their episode, well and good. I'm glad we don't have to see them again though. I'm glad it was a one and done. But yeah, we see that they went because they're trying to figure out who had the V1. Sadly, they are now caught up with what the boys know, that Bombsight is the name. It does have potentially has the V1. So yeah, now unfortunately the little edge that they had is gone once again. But Edgar is still alive, thankfully. We see that Edgar called it out pretty clearly, right? Because Edgar's like, you could kill me. Like, if I'm not helping you, you could have killed me already. Why haven't you done it? And, you know, he's like, it's because you see me as a dad. And I said this, right, a couple episodes ago, that Homelander, even for the people he always, you know, talks shit about, the people who stand up to him despite being human, they always impress him. Like, he never wants to really get rid of them, right? So, and Stanley was definitely like a dad to him for many years. So anyway, I'm not saying that won't happen now though, because like Homelander has completely cracked now, but you know, I think that's the main reason he couldn't bring himself to do it before. But yeah, sadly, again, Soldier Boy showing that his brain works different because he find out his weak point. Like, if you can't get him to break by talking to him or torturing him, find something he's willing to break for. And I knew it would be Zoe. So yeah, he gave him enough information to go on, made him do a little work for himself. But yeah, you know, unfortunately, that's why they even have that lead, is because of Stan. But I don't blame him because yeah, you know, he already lost Victoria viciously. So he's going to be a little bit more keen to losing Zoe. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now in El Tower. And then we had a little bit on what's going on the boys' side. Again, none of it really that deep. The main thing I took away from that is that Butcher has told Huey that if he gets a hold of the V1, that Huey can have a little bit of it in order to figure out if they can find a vaccine for the virus. Whether or not that's the truth, we never know with Billy. Like the way that he looked at his brother's trophy before looking at Huey and telling him that, I want to think that, you know, it is him thinking like, if there's, you know, again, we already know since like season 2 that that's the reason why Huey has such a soft spot for Butcher, is that it reminds him so much of his brother. But again, you know, we never know with Butcher. He'll always say things and seem sincere and then turn around at the last minute. So we'll have to see if he's gonna, you know, be true to that word. I do think he doesn't want to hurt Huey though. I do think the idea of Huey really being done with him is something that Butcher really doesn't want to face. So we'll have to see if that turns out to be true or not. But yeah, that was kind of the big thing that came out of that. And also a little bit of a dive into MM and the fact that, you know, we've noticed that this season his OCD seems to be completely gone. And I thought it was a very interesting thing that he said about how even though he's doing things that used to make him stay up at, like, would have literally kept him up at nights back in the first couple of seasons, he's like, I've never slept better, I've never felt better. And, you know, despite the fact that he's going to extremes with how yucky some of the stuff is that he's doing, you know, I don't have OCD, but I can only imagine that's, you know, having a situation where you literally can't let go of things because you're not able to, the amount of anxiety and stress and, you know, just the restriction, the restrictiveness that must impose on the people who have that condition. Like, I can only imagine how exhausting it would be. So to be at a point where you're just literally letting go of everything, which again, like I said, he's kind of snapshotting to the other extreme, but I feel like it's something that's made him feel better. Like, he's been clinched for how many years of his life? Like he said, since childhood, he developed this OCD because of what happened to his family, and now kind of letting go because he's like, now that I don't care if I live or die, or if I don't care if I get out of this, I've taken so much of the anxieties away from me now, so I can just kind of be present and actually enjoy the moment. And it's like I said, just being able to live my life. And so, you know, clearly Billy wasn't happy to hear that. Like, I think, you know, we've seen since season 1 that despite his gruff nature, Billy does not want the people around him to suffer. He doesn't act like he cares, but he does. So I know he's not happy with that answer, but at the moment he does need MM to be focused on doing what needs to be done. And as I said in the episode, is it great? No, but if it's what's necessary to get this job done of getting Homelander out of the picture and, you know, ideally Soldier Boy as well, then you gotta do what you gotta do, right? We gotta do what we gotta do here. So, but yeah, that's basically what we got out of the Boys side. The rest is kind of just a lot of small talk. But yeah, this episode was more, I think a little bit more a deep dive into the characterization of people. Again, to have this in the final season, so close to the end of the season, is an interesting choice, but it's not like we have time to do it later. So I kind of, I'll let, kind of give it a pass in the fact that we're doing it that way. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think the most interesting things out of this for me were getting some insight into Sage, and also just kind of figuring out some more of what's happening with MM and why he's acting the way he is. So yeah, again, interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.